Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next installment of the Talking Groose. I am your host, The Groose. I'm coming to you from Rocket Courier Studios, and across from the table from me is my co-host, or the co-host, better known as Rich. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing today? Finally got through all these technical difficulties, and we're going to get some entertainment out there.
Yeah, so what? It's been a couple weeks since we last met, and that we did this, and we have had in the recordings of it, been plagued. I mean, seriously plagued with technical issues. What a way to start out the new year.
Yeah, you buy equipment with gremlins in it. You got to exercise them first.
It reminds me of that when you said gremlins. It reminds me of that episode, the Bugs Bunny episode with the gremlins in the airplane.
Oh, right.
Once again, if you aren't old enough to remember it, go look it up. Bugs Bunny Gremlins. It was hilarious. I mean, it was a very, 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 very funny, in my opinion, for a show. So how's your New Year's been?
So far, so good.
Anything exciting? How did you celebrate New Year's? Do anything fun?
My girlfriend's ex-husband came over, shot off some fireworks with his kids, and they asked me if I wanted to. I said, pass. I'd like to keep my fingers.
Yeah, I felt like I was in a war zone. The whole time. It was it was like if I've never been in a war zone before. But if I was in a war zone, that's what I would imagine it sounded like.
Yep, we had quite the bit of not just us, everybody around us shooting off fireworks, and I'm sure all the Karens in the neighborhood were having fun with that one.
Well, I read a story that recently that Greg is the new Karen for guys.
I can see that.
I really am not a big fan of that. It's not my no. Yeah, no, it's been an interesting start to the new year. We're going to try to set this up in a different studio going forward, so we don't have these technical issues anymore. But we'll get to that when we get there, and we'll let you guys all know about it. Let's go over a little bit about what we're going to talk about on the show. I was going to say, let's go ahead and cover the big topic in the news. It's something every day I hear about that's going on. Is 737 Max grounding. There is new things come out every day about it. I
saw a news story yesterday that popped up on my news feed. They're grounded until further notice.
Yeah, and it's only the Max. It's not just the regular 737.
I'm not that technical. I don't know the difference between the Max and the regular.
I don't either, but everything I see, the regular 737 is still flying, but the 737 Max has been put to bed for a while. Thank God I don't do a lot of plane travel. We're also going to be covering Public Domain Day 2024. Number of things finally went public domain. Stuff that we would know about from when we were kids, and our grandparents, especially if they were still alive, would have known about it. Our parents a little bit, or a lot more than us. Baja Blast turns 20 years old this year.
Not just for Taco Bell anymore?
Yeah, it's I
know it's been in 12 packs and stuff for a long time.
Well, yeah, but it's just 20 years old. It's hard to believe that the soda is 20 years old, because I remember it from. When I heard it was 20 years old, I was like going, I thought it came out in the late 90s. I thought it was older than that. But it's only 20 years old, and it's been around since 2004, which is really.
Can't have my soft tacos without it.
Meat and cheese only?
You got it.
You don't. So, folks, in all the years I've known the co-host here, whenever you go to eat anywhere, he always wanted a little plain on plain with a side of plain.
With barbecue sauce.
Plain on plain with a little side of plain. Yeah, not my thing. I like my food fully loaded. Also, movies for 2024. A lot of them coming up. the good sequels or the continuing to the series.
Sequel, prequel.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of good looking animation.
Yeah, no, there is, and we'll go a little bit more about that, and then we're gonna finish the show up today with a game that I decided to put in here for the day or for this show. We're gonna call it F3 in 3, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick our 3 favorite stories of the show, and then we're gonna go ahead and tell them to 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes to talk about our 3 favorite stories on the show, and try to get that out, get through that, and then wrap it up and go from there. I mean, so with that, I would say let's definitely go ahead and get into the news. But first, let's go take a quick little break, and we will be back in
2 and 2.
2 and 2. All right, everybody. We'll see you in just a second. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of the news about what's going on in the world and what's happening. Big one. We're gonna talk 2 things that they say never ever talk about together.
Religion and politics?
No weather and politics.
Oh, okay.
Almost. You almost got it there today. But we'll put a space in between them. That sounds like a plan. Midwest, or actually, yeah, Midwest for the most part, unseasonable weather unseasonably strange weather they're having right now. I mean, I know out here in Arizona, this week has been cold. It's been a cold week. We've had under temperatures of the overnight lows in the 30s, and
we had to put socks on with our flip flops.
Yeah,
the struggle is real.
The struggle, just. We had to break out with the hoodie and because that's winter wear out here.
Right.
It's one of those things. I mean, they're saying that there is that the weather is going to be so bad that they're saying that it could affect the Iowa Caucus that's happening this week. This show will air after the caucus has happened, but it's still though. I mean, it's going to be. They're saying that it's going to be. How cold is the cold going to affect people from going out and actually
caucusing?
Caucusing, yes. I couldn't live in the snow. I couldn't do that.
No, that's why my parents moved to Arizona to begin with.
Yeah, I mean blizzards and I'll take the 120 degrees. At least you're driving on a dry road. You go from your air conditioned house, what have you, to your air conditioned car. Now, mind you, you're going to burn a little bit in between there, but the AC is going to cool you down. And then
you'll see wetness on the road, but it's just mirages.
Yeah, it's the mirage of the heat that's coming off of it. They've there are reports that in Des Moines they had a minus 18.
Wow.
Yeah, minus 18. It's and I feel for all those. I mean. For all those politicians that are out there, I mean, especially like that guy
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I feel for him. I mean, he's been out there really pounding the pavement, and that guy's been. I mean, how do you do it in the snow like that?
And why do you do it when you already know who's going to win that?
But so this is going to take us into our one of our topics. We're going to talk about the Iowa Caucus here in this section. Historically, it's not always who wins the Iowa Caucus gets the nomination.
Right.
It's a huge part of it, but it's not every nominee who goes and wins the caucus doesn't always win the nomination. I mean, we still got New Hampshire coming up next.
Yeah, the New Hampshire primary, and then they Don't they have like Super Tuesday?
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, and I get it right now. I like what I've heard a little bit about what
Vivek Ramaswamy
has said. I can't pronounce his name, but I like some of his messages.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to go out there and just tell it like it is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are, and he does it tactfully though.
Right.
He does it tactfully. Don't get me wrong. I think that Trump was a very good president, very good at running things, I should say, but he didn't know how he's gotten better at conveying his message. He's I saw him on they did that when the Republican debates were happening, or the debate between two. I mean, it's still a debate, I guess. But when they did a town hall instead, he did a town hall meeting instead of going to actual debate.
Is that the one with Hannity?
No. He did it with Brett Baer on Fox, and I can't think of who the co-host, Brett Baer's other co-host was. But he actually sounded presidential. He didn't sound like typical Trump.
I like typical Trump.
Well, yeah, but still, though, he sounded actually very, very put together. He knew how to answer. He knew how to talk about things. He didn't just sit there and start, like he always did when he was president, and, stay off the Twitter machine there, Mr. President. But Rob, what's his name again?
Vivek Ramaswamy.
I like
a soundbite of that somewhere.
Yeah, we need to get that. He actually, like I said, his message is good, but it's like nobody is really listening to him. He delivers a good message. I think he's what really we need. I mean, we can't pronounce his name. I'm having a heck of a time pronouncing his name. But he's the underdog in the Republican Party, I would say.
Yeah, and he's got a better message than Nikki Haley.
Yeah, no, he does, and
he's shredded her. I haven't watched, but I've heard about it, and he has just shredded her for everything that she's done that hasn't, lined up with conservative ideals.
And yeah, I mean, and I think even though he is a conservative and he's a Republican, he's very in tune with pretty much, I would say, the younger generation. Well,
he's got to be 40 at the oldest. I don't even know how old he is.
I don't know how old.
He's not very old.
No, but I still think that he. Yeah, why don't you look that up while we're talking? Do something here. But I think that that's what the country needs. They need somebody. We need somebody who's going to be fiscally conservative. We need somebody who's going to be on the national scene, who's going to know how to do it. But it's still
I think he would make a good, like maybe a White House spokesperson. Maybe but anyway, Vivek Ganapathy Ramaswamy, born August 9th, 1985.
1985. So he's 10 years younger than us.
38.
Yeah. I mean, look at Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kennedy was, when he 35. Was 35. Yeah. But he was in his late, he died when he got assassinated when he was like 43, I think it was.
Yeah. I can't remember what year he was born in,
but still though, you look at people like him, I'm not going to say, can he be the next Kennedy?
No, but he definitely has a good message, and I think he would be excellent in a cabinet position.
I think he would be good as a leader. I mean, because he's one of those people that he's young. He's in touch with the younger people, but
yet energetic.
He's energetic. Smart. Yeah, and smart. and our country has been, and no offense, but our country's been run by old men, people that, I mean, look who we got in our office now. We got 80-year-old, I don't know, is he 80? How old is the president? I mean, I ran out of...
The resident is, I don't know, somewhere in his 80s.
I mean, we need somebody, I mean, nothing against older people. I mean, we need to respect our elders, and I get that they do have more life experience, but he's trying to run a country here that you have to be on point all the time. That's one thing I can say about President Trump is that he is very sharp still for his age. For his age, he's in his late 70s at least.
He's like the Energizer Bunny, from what I hear. He's just always going.
I mean, and that's great. That's great.
He's still sharp as a tack.
Yeah, exactly. But what they got to realize is that a lot of the voters out there, the voting majority is going to be our generation and below. You know, and as much as I hate to say it, but we know the baby boomers are starting to fizzle out. You know, because that's my parents, your parents.
Right. That's not the target audience anymore.
No, they're not the ones that are the ones that are making the country go. I mean, it's our generation. It's our generation. It's the millennials. It's the Y. It's the Z, B, X, whatever. X and lower are the ones. We're the ones making the country go, and I think that'd be a huge thing going into our presidential elections is if we could get people that are in our age group and people that are in touch with our generation. Now, mind you, Ramaswamy, thank you. He's not X. He's a millennial. He's considered a millennial.
He's only 3 years older than my brother.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I remember when your brother was a little kid. I mean, little, but he's, you know, and it shows you that every generation has those people in it. I mean, we all bag on millennials about who they are and what they are, but it shows that there is always that one that rises above. He's very, very much, I would say, I would easily, I would like to see I don't want to say a throwdown, but a rundown or whatever between him and President Trump. I think those would be the two on the Republican side that are the ones to watch for. Definitely the ones to watch for. Now we know.
I think Trump's the present, and Ramaswamy represents part of the future.
Yeah, no, I think he does. I really do. I think he does, and it's going to be interesting to see how the caucuses play out. The caucus plays out. The primaries play out. I hope he doesn't just throw in the towel. You know, Chris Christie throws the towel in every time he gets to the first one, and he goes, "I'm done. I already raised up enough things. I'm gone." You know, what, 2 hours before the debate, I think it was, or 3 hours before the debate, he decides to say, "I'm out of it."
I don't know. Krispy Kreme was closed or something.
Anyways, let's go on. The 737 Max. Wow. It's the 737 Max is that plane. I think that plane just needs to be done. The thing has had so many issues with it. So as we all know, we've seen on different heard on the news and have watched and read all this. So back around the beginning of the year, once again, Alaska Airlines 737 Max plane was getting up to cruising altitude, and the door plug blew off. Which it's how would that? And when I heard about it happening, I'm thinking that it's the door plug. I'm thinking the something small, not like a whole piece of the door wound up blowing
plug, and it's like a small component, but from what I understand, the door plug envelops the whole thing around it.
Yeah, it does, and inside of that, it has the inside of that piece, it has the emergency door in it, and so there, of course, thank God nobody got hurt. Thank God nobody died. They even salvaged a cell phone from it.
Right, the one that fell.
Yeah, we got sucked out of the plane, and it wound up. I guess it hit the ground, and I mean, knowing my luck, if it would have hit the ground, it would have hit it right on the screen, and that would have been it. But
Right.
it must have just landed just right.
I can't take it when it drops out of my pocket and hits the ground.
But from 16,000 feet, hey, God,
Right.
whoever
must have been like a penny off the Empire State Building.
whatever company they had for that made their case, if they had a case on it, I want that.
No shameless plug here, but OtterBox. I bet you it was an OtterBox.
I would love to see that part of the story. But then also a lot of the younger people that were on that flight, the late teens, the 20 somethings, they were going around taking selfies of them.
Look, I'm about to die.
I don't know if I had if I was on a plane and the side of the plane blew open on me, I'd put that mask on, and then I'd be kissing my ass goodbye.
I was gonna say, remember Bill Cosby when we were growing up?
Yeah.
Was he wearing clean underwear? Well, first you say it, then you do it.
Yeah. First you say it, then you do it.
We found it in the glove compartment.
But yeah, I mean, still,
I would have soiled my shorts on that.
I would have soiled myself.
Yeah.
If the door blew off me, I would have soiled. I think from here on out, I'm going to start packing as my carry-on a parachute. I don't know if it would fit into that little box that they.
Don't get on a 737 Max, and you'll be okay.
We'll be fine. But they're finding that the company that so Boeing has a company that makes the fuselages for them, and they found that this company, I guess, has it's Spirit something aviation, I believe, or it's not associated with Spirit Airlines, but the company that makes the fuselage for this plane has had a whole bunch of quality issues, and they're finding that there's issues with where it was the rivets it was bolted on, whatever, in the wrong place, not in the right places for it, and
poor craftsmanship.
Well, yeah, quality issues, and I don't know if that's just quality issues for the in general with the airlines. I mean, the government, I heard, the FAA is going to go over Boeing's production of the plane. I still come to the conclusion, I think it's just time that they need. I mean, there's 170 some odd 737 Maxes out there. Yeah, time to just scrap the program, guys.
Them. Next.
Yeah, let's just go back to the normal 737
and produce them here rather than in India.
Well, I don't know where they produce them at. It's probably up in the Northwest, up at the Boeing facilities.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a friend, a guy that I've known for years who's been in the airline industries, and he actually posted a rather hilarious meme online, and it was a picture of an Alaska airline plane, and it was wrapped up in duct tape. And the flight crew, or not the flight crew, but the ground crew, one guy said to the other one, "Okay, I think it's good. We can fly now."
Somebody get MacGyver out there.
Yeah, MacGyver. Anyways, California also this past couple weeks, they're trying to pass a gun law to where you can't carry guns in public places. Places like parks and hospitals, and I don't see that one going very far. I see it as
eventually the Supreme Court's going to rule against it. I've seen I've heard that they first one court says no, you can't do that. Another court says, well, you can do it, until a higher court says no, you can't do it. And eventually it's going to make it to the Supreme Court, and it's not going to but it's not going to stand up to the Second Amendment.
No, I don't think it will, because I mean, as much as I can sort of a little bit see about carrying guns in like hospitals or carrying them in churches or I don't see it happening to where they will go where you can't. We had the conversation earlier this week while we were going through all of our technical difficulties with this, that, what about that person who carries a gun inside the church and somebody comes in to attack that priest, that imam, that rabbi, and then all of the congregation? Yeah. If you're not allowed to carry a gun inside of a church,
you're sitting duck.
You're sitting ducks. Yeah. Now we hope that nobody attacks a church, but we know that a church and place of worship is prime target. We've seen that in society.
Oh yeah,
we've seen that. And I don't care. I don't care what faith you are. I don't care what religion you are. You should be able to go and worship your God
in safety and
safety, yeah, and reverence and respect. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care what it is. But go and worship your God in peace
and not respect the sanctity of whatever it is that
yeah.
And everybody, we grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go into a Jewish or a Muslim. Whatever, the ceremony, a
temple or a mosque or whatever
their gathering is called. In Catholicism, it's the Mass. But whatever their gathering is called, we're not going to go in and interrupt it out of respect, because we have respect for our faith. And
this whole society, there's not a lot of respect going around, though.
No.
For anything.
No. And most of these gunmen that just open fire on people, they're very mentally challenged to begin with.
Well, and once, yeah, no, yeah, and that's very true.
And no law is going to stop that crazed individual from going in there, but a legal gun owner is going to stop that crazed individual from doing more damage than he would have done in the first place. Same place, anywhere you put up a sign that says gun-free zone, the bad guys already have an advantage.
Well, yeah, because they're not going to respect it,
right?
And it comes down to being respectful of the people around it, the people, the businesses. The sign posted says "Don't carry a gun inside this building." Some statute or whatever they tag to that, and the respectful gun owner, the gun owner who actually cares, is going to be like, okay, this is what this business respects. I'm patronizing this business. I'm going to respect this business. So they aren't going to carry it. Now, the people that are patronizing this, but they don't respect them because they have their heads so far up their ass sometimes, and they're going to carry that gun in there, and they might be that person who's going to be the one who's going to open fire.
If they're a registered, gun owner that bought the gun through legal processes, I'm going to say there's probably about a 99% or close to it chance that they're not going to be the ones that are opening fire.
Well, no, and I agree with that, but they're going to be the ones that are going to respect that business and say that the business is saying,
right,
like, hey,
right.
Hey.
The person who carries the gun in there intending to do harm is going to be the one that the other gun owners should have their guns because of.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm getting at. So it's...
I think I got to go to the bathroom.
Well, and with that, I think it's time to take a break and move on to the next subject. We will be back shortly here. Butthead said it correctly, and we will see you shortly after this brief bathroom break. All right, everybody, welcome back. I hope you had a chance to step away for a minute, hit pause. I know we did. Had to get down a little coffee down my throat. And,
a little bit lighter?
Yeah, a little bit, much lighter. In my opinion, it's entertainment we're going to talk about, guys. It's a lot of good things coming out for 2024. Movies for 2024. We got a lot of sequels coming out or continuing into the saga. one thing I was happy about is that they're doing a Deadpool 3.
Oh yeah, Deadpool. Some of the funniest scenes. Ryan Reynolds, guy is just hilarious. I've liked him ever since Two Guys, a Girl, in a Pizza Place.
Hugh Jackman, I read somewhere that Hugh Jackman's actually making an appearance in this, in his actual Wolverine, in the Wolverine costume from the comic books. So the outfit, the yellow and blue.
Nice.
I think that's going to be really cool. I love Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is like the actor, in my opinion. The man can sing, the man can dance, the man can act. He can do it all. He's like a modern Bing Crosby.
Do you have a man crush?
The man what?
I said, do you have a man crush on him?
I might. Who knows? I saw a picture the other day. I was over at my mother's house looking through pictures, and I saw a picture of my little brother with Hugh.
Oh, really?
This is from years ago. I mean, my little brother still had hair, so it was from a long time ago. But yeah, he was with Hugh. My little brother works on Broadway, as you know. He's a stage manager or stage producer or something. But yeah, he had a picture with you. But I love Hugh Jackman. All of his movies are great. I mean, everything he's in is really good. He's supposed. I read that he's supposed to make an appearance in the new Deadpool, which will be quite interesting.
There's a lot of Wolverine fans out there that'll be happy about that for sure. And add that to Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool, and
I think it's going to go over well. They're doing another Joker movie.
I haven't seen the first one yet. Might have to check it out before I.
You should watch it. I watched it with some hesitancy because they've always taken the Joker story and have always twisted it and stuff. I mean, it was a very interesting take on the Joker story. It was a very interesting take. I liked it. I think Joaquin Phoenix did a great job at playing the Joker. He encompassed the role, I guess you can say would be what I'd say. He really took on that whole
persona.
Yeah. I mean, now my idea of the Joker is Cesar Romero.
I kind of like Heath Ledger's version.
It was all right. I like Jack's version the best.
Nicholson?
Jack Nicholson's version, yeah. That.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see Dune Part 2. I was a big fan of the original Dune with the cheesy graphics from the 80s.
That's the only Dune I've ever seen.
And then they did a mini-series on the Sci-Fi Channel, probably late 90s, early 2000s. And I did watch the first movie, and I thought it was done quite well. I'm kind of anxious to see if the second part is.
I want to. I don't know. I maybe I'll have to sit and watch the remake myself. I never bothered with it.
Dune?
Yeah, they remake a Dune. I've watched the original one.
You watch Dune, I'll watch the Joker.
Well, there you go. There. Yeah. So our homework for the next episode is we got to talk about these movies.
Right. Kung Fu Panda 4.
And that is a Kung Fu Panda. All of them have been good. I have enjoyed every single one of them. They're very light. They're funny. Jack Black, you can't go wrong.
Jack Black always he's funny no matter what he's in. He's like kind of like Chris Farley, but I think he's funnier than Chris Farley, and he doesn't try so hard.
No, yeah, and Chris Farley was over the top, really over the top. I think with Jack Black has
physicality to his humor, but not to that extent.
And I think with Jack Black is it comes naturally. It looks like it's not forced.
Right. Whether it be, and obviously this is a speaking role in an animation film, but even his real films, he comes across really good.
Yeah, he comes across as he's not really trying. And the whole series of the Kung Fu Panda movies are good. Doing Despicable Me 4.
Love the Minions.
To see Gru again on the screen and the Minions. I mean, a little bit of Minionese.
Yeah. What does he say? Bedtime Porry?
Bananas. To see them bring that back again, and
buddies, come here, buddies.
But to see them do another one of that's I'm excited about that. I've seen all of the Despicable Me, the Minion movies, the Rise of Gru, and they're all good. They're all good. I laugh my ass off through every one of them.
Yeah, that's another series that's very.
I mean, Steve Carell does a great job as the voice of Gru.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching him in The Office, and then of course in a lot of his other movies, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of great roles, but I think he'll go down as being Gru and his role in The Office. I think there's going to be his. But Steve Carell, though, another good actor. Can't wait for that.
What about Furiosa, a Mad Max saga? I know.
I left off Mad Max with Mel Gibson.
Thunderdome?
Beyond Thunderdome. Yeah, that was it for me.
We don't need another hero.
No, we don't. We don't need another Mad Max. Is what we don't need another Mad Max. Because in my opinion, Mad Max is Mel Gibson.
Right.
And once again, I'm going to speak totally saying this. I've never ever saw any of the new Mad Maxes.
Neither have I.
Because once again, to me, Mad Max is Mel Gibson.
Right.
And it's what is it? Mad Max,
The Road Warrior,
and then Beyond Thunderdome, and that was it. That to me was Mad Max. I don't think they'll ever find somebody that looks like Tina Turner.
No, probably not.
No, I mean, great movie.
Very, very 80s.
Very 80s, but still though they don't need to be.
Not everything needs to be this big special effects show. Sometimes having a story behind it, even a post-apocalyptic story. Say that 3 times.
Yeah, okay. But I can't even say Ramaswamy correctly. So
hey, you did it.
Hey, there we go, Ramaswamy. Thank you.
Anyway, and lastly, we have on here Mufasa the Lion King. It's a prequel. It's going to be the live action.
Did you see the live action Lion King?
I did not. I only seen the animated from the 90s.
There's something about it. So James Earl Jones came back. He played the voice of Mufasa, which is great.
That's cool. Yeah.
He was great. Scar, though, was not Jeremy Irons.
Oh, yeah. I remember watching some kind of special on the original one when Jeremy Irons played him, and how they made the character to look.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, they tried to get the actor's likeness in the lion character.
Yeah.
And that was the Lion King. I think was the first time that an animation movie tried to do that to make it more believable because it looked similar to the actors.
Yeah, and it worked. I think it worked.
Yeah. No,
I think it really worked. I love the original animated Lion King. The live action one they did was good. It was good. It wasn't. I watched it only once, but it was good. They're also doing another Godzilla movie. Godzilla.
I've never been a fan. And
Godzilla versus Kong.
I couldn't tell you what number they're on or what the plot of any of them were, other than poor Tokyo. I
lost interest after he defeated Mothra. That was back in the 60s.
Back when Bruce Lee was kung fu fighting and all that good stuff.
Pretty much. Now they are going to translate. I have a friend who would be all over this one. They're translating the Broadway musical Wicked into a movie. I'm guessing it's going to probably be a 2-parter because it's called Wicked Part 1. But it's a musical, Broadway musical about the Wizard of Oz before Dorothy showed up.
Oh, okay.
In the Land of Oz. And I'm interested to see how they're going to convert that into a movie. Yeah, but this one, I mean, this is, like I said, this is based on the Broadway musical. So, and the Broadway musical was huge, big hit. Wicked, I mean, huge hit.
You're into musicals?
I'm only into one music. I don't like musicals. Okay, don't like them. But once again, Hugh Jackman, The Greatest Showman. Great musical. I mean, I will watch that thing. I have it. I own it. I mean, I got to turn it on Vudu and be like, click, I want to watch The Greatest Showman. Great movie. Got to watch it.
Man Crush.
have it.
Our next topic on here says Public Domain Day. I know.
Public Domain Day, huge.
I know. I know a lot of things are coming.
Well, a lot of things went. The big one this year is Steamboat Willie went to the public. Willie, you're free of Disney at last. Free Willie, huge. The house at Pooh Corner went this year. That was the book where Tigger was introduced.
Oh, okay.
And things like All Quiet on the Western Front. I thought that would have been public domain already, but it came up this year.
There's so much of this that I'm looking at that I don't know that much about.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. Of course, we're not going to know a lot about it because a lot of this stuff happened 100 years ago. I mean, because our grandparents would have known about it. I mean, if any of you follow us on X, we wound up retweeting a tweet. Adult Swim released a little commercial and for Public Domain Day, and they had Free Willy on it. So visit us on X at the Talking Goose. You'll get to see it. It's hilarious. It really, in my opinion, it's the truth. So it's like the musical Animal Crackers with the Marx Brothers. I mean, and not many people know who the Marx Brothers are now.
True.
But Mac the Knife, the original song, went public domain.
Looking at some of these, and we mentioned this one last time. My favorite one to mention on here, Making Whoopee.
Making Whoopee. Once again, it was a song that was from back in the 20s. I mean,
back when they had to roundabout way. They had to use innuendo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you couldn't just be blatantly blunt and honest and say exactly. You had to say it in a certain way. But it's just strange to see some of these things. The song "Yes, We Have No Bananas" is now public domain.
I figured that already was. Didn't they use that in a commercial when we were growing up?
I thought that was too, but I guess not. I mean, it's interesting though, just to see what's coming, what came out, what's now free to use. New Year's Day also rolled around. One of the things was you heard there was a little exchange went on with Elon Musk
because Green Day said something.
At the Dick Clark New Year's Eve celebration, or I don't know what Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, I think it's called. Green Day had wound up singing their song "American Idiot," and they replaced the line from the song with "I'm not a part of the redneck agenda," to where they changed it to "I'm not a part of the MAGA agenda." Now Musk's comment on that, I'd say, was great. Musk. What
was his exact comment?
Elon had wound up saying Green Day goes from raging against the machine to milk-toastedly raging for it. Right.
In other words, I guess we're not so anti-establishment anymore.
Well, yeah, and that's and I think he's right in that, because I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, it was all your rock bands were against the establishment. They were against the machine. They were speaking out against them in their music.
Our parents' generation, the entire the whole musical scene was all anti-establishment.
Well, the late '60s, it was all against all. You had all the people singing against the Vietnam War and what was going on and that's what rock and roll was all about. It wasn't about let's capitulate and be with the agenda.
Right.
I mean, it's
well,
Elon.
I've never been a fan of Green Day to begin with, but to me, their music's about as dead as Dick Clark is anyway.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, it's just I'm all about about rock. I love rock and roll, but come on, let's just like all professional sports, even and all professional music, you're paid to entertain, and you're not paid to be part of it. You're paid to be
right. You're there.
You get your message across.
You got some people that are paid commentators, and that's what they do. They comment on the news. They comment on politics.
Or you can be like us and do this totally pro bono and free.
Right.
Maybe one day if we get enough subscribers.
Well,
you too we will be paid commentators.
We could be the next Hannity and Combs, but you can be Combs because he always looked like an alien.
Anyways, folks, with that, let's go ahead and close this up. We're going to move on, take a quick breather, and coming back with some good humorous stories. Baja Blast, 20 years old, Tropicana with no AI included.
And don't forget the Florida BDSM dungeon.
Yeah. Anyways, that will be back in, as once again our good friend says,
2 and 2.
2 and 2. All right, everybody, we'll see you in a few. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So now, on to some fun and interesting topics here. A little bit of entertainment news coming up. So this week, by the time this airs, you'll see that the Consumer Electronics Show would have happened in Vegas, along with the AVN show. But the Consumer Electronics Show is happening, and this year they were talking about a huge focus on AI, which is, of course, a hot button topic nowadays. AI, everybody talks about AI and things like that, but Tropicana they're changing their names They're changing their name temporarily. They are pulling the A and the I out of Tropicana. The 2 A's and the 1 I.
Tropcian?
Yeah, something like that. and they're pulling it out basically to show that they are all natural and there's nothing artificial in it. And they're going to be they released this, I think it was like 100 bottles at the actual convention, and then they're going to be sending them out limited to different Kroger stores.
Those are going to be collector's items.
Oh, they probably will. I wouldn't drink the orange juice. I'd drink the orange juice, seal it back up, and keep it. But I think it's a great way to really bring focus on not using artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is great. But that's it. It's artificial. It's not real.
Right.
It's just taking what real intelligence has put together and putting it and letting people know, and then it's creating stuff, with that. But I think it's a really great ad campaign to take the focus away from the whole computer-based stuff. It's to show that it's
a humorous take on the whole thing, and they're doing it in a fun way.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. I agree with that 100%. I mean,
they're 77 years old. They got to do something fun before they die off, right?
Well, 77. That's yeah. At least they're not running for office. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, we have coming up on there. So we have next Baja Blast, 20 years old.
Yeah, can't have my Taco Bell without it. But I know they've had it in stores here for a while, but now it's going to be nationwide.
Well, no, it's going to be nationwide, but it's going to be for the whole year. They're going to keep it in stores. So all of you who don't know this, I spent 34 years of my life in the grocery business, hence the reason I have all this gray hair and my knees hurt. They would release it seasonally. Once in a while, a couple weeks in the summer, you'd have it. But in celebration of their 20th anniversary, they're going to have it all year round in the stores. Mountain Dew has had, over the years, a number of great flavors out there, aside from the traditional Mountain Dew.
Right. They did the Live Wire, and then they had the mystery flavor for a couple of years.
Yeah, they had Pitch Black. Yep. They had Code Red.
Well, Code Red is still out there, but you can't find it except in 2 liters anymore, and maybe cans.
I've never looked. I've never looked.
I like to get the 1 liter bottles, but they don't put Code Red. At least not here. When I was in Missouri last year, they had Code Red.
Code Red in a liter. Wow.
Still, so.
But yeah, I mean, Mountain Dew has had so many good flavors over the year, and it's amazing that Baja Blast. I love going to Taco Bell and getting it. Every time I go to Taco Bell, that's my drink. I've gotten to the point now where, I love my Pepsi products. I love my Diet Pepsi. I used to love Sierra Mist, but it's dead. It's starry now. Yeah.
Wasn't it Slice before it was Sierra Mist?
I think it was.
Remember Slice?
I think it was Slice before Sierra Mist. But but Baja Blast, it's been the drink I go to, and I've had it over the years when it's been released in the grocery stores over the where they do their special promotion of it.
It's weird to drink it when it's not coming out of a fountain from Taco Bell.
Well, and that's what I was going to get at here. So this year I wound up buying a bottle of it, a couple bottles of it actually, and I drank it straight cold out of the bottle, and it didn't taste bad this time. And normally it doesn't taste that great. It doesn't taste like Taco Bell. But I poured it over ice, and it tasted just like Taco Bell. Like if you went there. Now, mind you, once again, it's not the same thing as going to the fountain and, sticking it up there to the thing, hearing it come out.
No,
the whole
fountain
deal.
Drinks always taste different.
Fountain drinks are always better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Depends
on the mix.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But still, though, it's 20 years old, though. Would you ever believe that drink was 20 years old? Does it seem like it's been around for 20 years?
Do we seem like we've been around 50 years?
Yeah, 50 years, please. Sometimes, if somebody feels like it's been around 100 years. Right. But yeah, it's a great drink. I mean, it's going nationwide for the whole year. You'll be able to find it in stores. I plan to take advantage of it for the year because I don't eat at Taco Bell all the time.
No, I've kind of cut down on my fast food. Here's a teaser for a future episode. We'll have to tell the Taco Bells, the Magic Taco stories.
The Magic Taco. Folks, I totally forgot about the Magic Taco story. Stupid stuff we did as teenagers.
Yeah.
The Magic Taco story. We'll talk about.
We'll tell you on a future episode. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
The Magic Taco guys. We'll go with that later. Now I stumbled across an article.
Quite tittillating.
Yeah, that is. So in what was the city where it was at?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. So yeah, so in Fort Lauderdale at a city council meeting, 3 people walked in complete black latex suits.
They look like Cylons from Battlestar.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they asked for public funding for their
BDSM dungeon.
Yeah. Of course they didn't get it. I mean, the article goes on to say they didn't get it, but I don't really know about you, but hey, I'm thinking that is one heck of a way to spend your tax dollars. Let's have some fun with it. If you're going to pay taxes and it hurts, at least make it hurt in a good way.
Right? I look forward to spanking each and every one of you at the new esteemed dungeon, the mistress said.
You got to give them credit for having the chutzpah, yes, to go in and do this in front of a city council meeting. Look it up, people. It's
definitely fodder for late night comedians.
Yeah, it's a hilarious article.
At least the ones we grew up with.
Yeah,
before they all. Yeah,
hilarious article. Look it up, guys. It only amazes me what goes on in this world.
That just goes to show you that no matter what decade it is, what century it is, people are weird.
Yeah. Every world has that. Every century has that. generation has that. But still, though, it's very, very different. Anyways, with that, let's go ahead and pull this together, and we're gonna go ahead and come back now. We're gonna take a quick break here. Come back. We're gonna do our fun and exciting game F3 and then we'll go ahead and close the show up. Hopefully, we're entertaining you so far. Hopefully, we've enlightened you somewhat and spirited the debate. So, with that, we'll be right back, and we will see you then. All right, everybody, welcome back. So now we're going to get to this new fun and exciting part of the show. We are going to call it F3 in 3. So it's going to be your favorite three topics, our favorite three topics that we've covered today in this show. And we're going to go ahead and discuss them. We'll have 3 minutes. We'll go ahead and set a timer for us. So let me go ahead and get the timer set here real quick. So you already got 3 topics in mind?
I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out as you go. So it's you'll do it as fast. You'll figure your 3 topics in 3 minutes.
Greg just wants to keep me talking for 3 minutes straight. See if he can do it.
I know I can talk for 3 minutes straight.
You can talk for 3 hours straight.
I know I can. Yeah, and that's why I'm the host of this show, and you're just the co-host. Anyway, so in 3 and 3, we're going to fire out our 3 favorite topics in 3 minutes. It will come to when 3 minutes are up, you're done. All right. So let's go ahead and start the clock. And here we go. 3 and 3.
My favorite 3 were probably the movies for 2024. I'm very interested in seeing Dune and really anything sci-fi that comes out. I am looking forward to the animation movies. I still have a son who's 11, and we'll watch the Despicable Me's and the Kung Fu Pandas together. So that's a story that was numero uno. Number 2, I'm thinking
the clock's ticking.
Tick, 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 tick. I like the Tropicana idea. That was different. That was interesting. I think that them doing that was a good play on AI and the fact that hey, guess what? We're all natural. I don't know what I can say what the third one is. I know it's still how much time I got left.
No, you're down to 2 minutes.
See, can't keep me talking for 3 minutes. I think I'll pass on the Florida BDSM dungeon. I think it's a little too dominating for me. Baja Blast, Taco Bell. Always been my favorite. Always been, I ever since they introduced it. I remember when they first introduced it, and I was like, yep, this is my drink for Taco Bell from now on. So the fact that they're releasing it all over the nation, and it's not just going to be at Taco Bell, it's going to be everywhere. I think that will be, I don't know. Mountain Dew does this every year, though, and then they take away flavors, and people are like, but we like that flavor. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe they'll end up keeping it out permanently after the year if sales are up high enough. But
1 minute.
Can I say what I didn't like?
Yeah, go ahead. Fire away. I guess we can throw that in there.
Okay. California gun law. Cares what the land of fruits and nuts wants to do. My dad would have been like, what are you covering California for? And my dispatcher would have said, don't California my Arizona.
Well, I've said that for years.
Yeah. And then the Iowa Caucus. I think politics this year is going to be boring until like October. There's not going to be. It's already. I think a lot of it's already decided.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So is that it? You still got 9 seconds.
Hi, Mom.
All right, time's up there. Okay, so everybody, yeah. I can't keep them talking for 3 minutes. issue. I'm going to need some help on that one. I guess it's my turn now.
Start the clock.
All right, let me go ahead and get things fired up here. Okay, so now there we go. So 3 minutes. So my favorite, I would say we'll start off with news. One of my favorites is, and I want to see how it develops and how it goes on and what happens over the course of the next few weeks, is with the 737 Max. I love traveling and I love flying. I don't do it enough. But it's just to hear the whole story about what's going on with the safety of this plane and why. I want to see what actually happens with it. I'm a firm believer in that. Maybe they should ground it. Maybe they should permanently get it out of there and just go with regular 737. If this story develops currently and further, I'll reach out to my friend who's been in the aviation industry for a while, and I will see if we can get him on the show to talk about this. And because he's done a lot with aviation over the years, but it is something that's very interesting to me. That it's still something that's it's an ongoing story. It's going to develop, and we're going to hear about what exactly happened with it. I'm then going to have to say, when it comes to our little entertainment section, the movies, of course. A lot of them I'm looking forward to. A lot of them I'm really hoping that we actually. I can't wait to see them. Deadpool, Kung Fu Panda. I do want to see Wicked. I want to see how Wicked turns out. How they make that into a musical, a theatrical musical versus a Broadway musical. I want to see. Once again, like I said, Deadpool, the Minions. I can't wait for the next Despicable Me. I really can't. Maybe in the meantime, I'm gonna go watch Dune, and I'll binge it. I'll watch it, and then I'll go out and go see it in the theater. I'm gonna have to go with the Tropicana story. I think that is just such a great take on a way to shift the focus to very creative marketing. Very creative marketing. I think that they did a great job at to take that focus away, that they are all natural. So there we go. My 3.
You made it 3 minutes, huh?
I made it 3 minutes without any interruptions, and I pulled it out perfectly. And
I was thinking while you were giving your F3 and 3 that I hope Wicked doesn't turn out like the ill-gotten TV show Cop Rock.
Oh, Cop Rock?
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, everybody, thank you for joining us for this episode of The Talking Groose. Once again, you can reach us on social media at The Talking Groose. We have our own website, thegroose.com. You can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on X. Mr. Musk, if you're watching, please follow us back. You can reach us by email at the email address thetalkinggroose@thegroose.com. We always are looking forward to comments. We finally figured out how to turn the comments section on YouTube, so people can actually leave comments now.
Another technical hurdle that we jumped this week.
Man, we're gonna be broadcast professionals soon here,
right?
Yeah, but. Anyways, with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. We will be coming back to you again next couple of weeks. I am currently working on another program to satisfy your needs for me while we're not here doing this. And hopefully we'll get that out. We'll hopefully have the new studio up and running here in the next by the next episode. But until then, I think it's time that we just go to bed and call it a night.
Sounds good.
All right.
See you next time.
Everybody, see you next time. And until then, let's talk. You guys all have a great week.